Sad part about the history and the culture of the dance halls is that it has been very under-researched. There has not been, and the perfect example, and I don't mean to go off on a bad tangent, but there was just this USA Today story that came out. I don't know, maybe you even forwarded it to me. And it's the same old drivel that you hear every year about the same old dance halls, and most of them aren't even true dance halls, true historic dance halls. And so the same verbiage gets told over and over and over again, and it's not really what we're doing here. We're in a traditional dance hall with traditional music, doing everything that they were doing 100 years ago. And this is not a reenactment, don't get me wrong there, but it's a living culture that we're trying to preserve, that we feel that's important to the history of the state of Texas and to the United States and to the music in particular, because the music was nurtured in these halls, and we would not have this important Texas music and this southern music that we have if it wasn't for these Texas dance halls. They nurtured it, they were incubated in these halls, and the different cultures came together in these halls, and new music was formed, and the musicians had a place to play and make a living and continue with the music and build on the music. And that's very important. And it's the other important part of it is a lot of these halls are in the smaller rural communities. And if we are to ever, like Willie trying to save the farm by having the farm aids and stuff and keeping the farmers alive, we want to do the same thing, and we want to keep the rural landscape alive as well, and the life and the culture that those people have been living for since the European immigration to Texas. We want to keep that living tradition and that culture and that music and all that alive, and we want to make it vital to those small communities and those rural communities so they can have something to be proud of, and people will come out and visit them, and the younger generation will grow up and be proud of those dance halls and continue these dance halls and keep those dance halls alive. So we really have to focus back in on these smaller rural communities as well as the big urban dance halls. But to keep them alive, we need to focus a lot on it. And the first thing to do, everyone today, as you notice, fewer and fewer people are reading books. They're all going to the internet, and they're all going to TV and the movies, and that's why we really need to try to find some excitement to reach out to this younger generation to bring the focus back on what's important. Because eventually a lot of them come back because as they get older, they see a lot of themselves in their parents or in their grandparents, and they want to come back to these small communities. But we want to make it important for them too. We want to make it to where it means something to them, not just the music of their grandparents or not just the music of their parents, but something that is a living culture for them as well, something that they can embrace and for future generations. But to keep these storied halls alive. And